flick it, spin it.
Twist it, spin it, pull it.
All right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the One Nation Gamer Summer Circuit. You could tell during the break we looked up the Bop It 2 Extreme.
Well, it does exist. It's got a green side even. But we will be headed into the second match here between Leomane and Weasel. And again, we have a bit more class diversity than earlier. Weasel obviously running some pretty standard classes. Leomane as well, but he's got that rogue in there. And no druids in this NA portion of today.
Yeah, second rogue also. Leomane, I think this is the lineup that he used the last time he was in the Open. So he's very confident and comfortable with these decks. Leomane, I don't think has quite enough points with second place. Yeah, he does.
No, he does. So
yeah,
if Leomane wins this match, makes it to the finals, he is at least in a tie with Dart at 12 points. So he would guarantee himself a chance. He'd guarantee himself 2 chances to qualify for the premier event this weekend.
Yeah. Weasel actually has 9 points on EU.
Not gonna matter.
Not gonna matter. Separate pools.
Yeah.
Separate pools, people.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate for him. Of course, he can still make the premier tournament if he just wins today, outright.
Yeah. Yep. Which all these players are definitely going for that route.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Never want to lose. Just win it all, man.
Just win it all.
Easy.
All right. First matchup is going to be Leomane on the Patron Warrior and Weasel, yet to be known, also Warrior. Yep. Patron Mirror to start things off.
Starting off with that Patron Mirror.
Just hitting the ground running.
Yep. Or walking. Who knows? Could be a long game. Usually pretty quick.
Yeah.
I
feel
again,
like have we seen any aggro decks today? 0.
I don't think we've seen any. So
we've seen every single player's deck list, and nobody has any aggro lists. Well, actually, that's not true because we still have 2 chances for Face Hunter.
Yep, but definitely an uncommon deck nowadays. Just seems to not pack enough punch in the mid game. Wolf Rider and company being a little too fragile against the newfound whirlwinds that the meta has now included. Didn't used to really be there.
Mm-hmm. We'll get Weasel's hand for you as quick as we can here. Wow, look at this hand from Leomane. I mean, he's got Deathbite, Inner Rage, Grim Patron.
Yep.
He's got it.
He's got it. And he even has a war song to couple with it. Weasel doesn't have too bad of a hand. He's going to get to shield block, but first decides to take damage, of course, enabling that Battle Rage for later. But yeah, I mean, if nothing really changes about these hands, Leomane is going to be able to set up that 4 patron turn. And we've kind of talked about if there's not another set of patrons for the other player, the first player can run away with it.
Yeah. Weasel actually also, he got his points from EU because he took second in EU qualifier number 4. So both these players have been in EU qualifier. I think Leomane was in number 6.
Yep. Leomane has some points on
5.
Europe, but
Number
he
5,
also
sorry.
has... he's got those points on Europe, but he also has the North American points. So
yeah,
definitely in the running. Definitely someone we're not really surprised to see here. Been here twice already. His 3rd appearance, I believe.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit surprised that, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. He can develop Deathbite next turn and then just go off with the patrons. And by the looks of it, Weasel is not going to have the best ways to deal with this. He'll be able to deal with a couple if that's the line of play Leomane chooses instantly.
There
And even if he
is...
gets joned, he has
Ah!
second despite.
Yeah. I was about to say, there is the potential he gets joned off the top.
Nope.
I feel like Weasel... Oh, he's not going to choose to go with the Despite. Just wanting to cycle more, but thinks he needs more. And think Leomane, yeah, he's going to go for it. Even gets his own...
Ooh,
Gets his
wow.
own Joan.
We might be seeing the most one-sided patron matchup we've yet to see today.
Could be. Definitely still a potential area for Weasel. We have seen some players teching in some stuff like Brawl even. But it's going to need to be quick for Weasel, this recovery.
Yeah.
Whoa! One card late.
It's crazy that they both drew it at exactly the same time.
Harrison Jones often travel in pairs.
Yeah. Indeed.
Fun fact. So, it's going to start moving. I mean, next turn, if this Despite sticks, which it probably won't, he can just Harrison Jones it. Weasel kind of playing around that with the execute, but yeah. Still pretty brutal to see.
Yeah, he's only going to be left with 2 patrons, which is not the worst thing in the world.
It's manageable.
Yeah.
Not with the cards in hand for Weasel, but it's manageable.
And you think he might coin out the Fiery War Axe here?
He could just start the beatdown. But
I might, because I don't know if you're going to find an opportunity to use that Fiery War Axe.
Double Whirlwind, pretty much dead here for Weasel. He can't go for much of a counter patron. Too rough. A weapon here would have been really nice. Gotten him back into the game.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden, if Leomane plays a weapon next turn, he won't even be able to play Harrison Jones. Because then it'll just give him more patrons.
Yep. So it's going to be Armor Pass. And for Leomane, now he's thinking, okay, so I'm pushing 11 a turn at minimum. He just armored up and passed. If this continues, game's over.
Yeah.
So you just do pretty much the most minimalistic play possible, which I think is like weapon, everything face, armor pass. And Weasel, again, has to top deck something.
Yep. And he's pretty much almost... Is he just dead on board next turn? If he doesn't find anything, yeah, he is.
So, has to be a response here. It's not Harrison Jones. Battle Rage only cycles for 1, so he kind of has to charge out something. Can charge out the patrons. But then he can't, like, Whirlwind or anything, so he'd be able to clear off the Acolyte, and he'd be able to clear off a patron or Harrison, and then Warsong would come out and end the game. So, really not much here for Weasel.
Not at all.
Not at all.
What could he even pick up with Harrison that would even allow him to fight back?
Nothing, really.
Nothing.
I mean, revenge. Revenge. He could pick up Revenge in his patron deck.
That'd be pretty sick.
That'd be interesting.
Well, he's running out of time now. He said in his bio, he's lost countless games with Patron for roping too much.
Feel like kind of goes out to everybody. Did he get the attack off? He did. So he's alive, but yeah, I mean the worst.
He's not alive.
He's not alive to the cards in Leomane's hand. That's gonna do it.
He goes with the route that takes slightly longer. I guess the animations would have taken just as long with Frothing Berserker.
It always is a really nice end. Zalay says basically you can't not BM with Patron Warrior.
It's
Because
really hard to get exact lethal.
your opponent can't even concede. Because like by the time you concede, it's too late.
Hmm.
Animations are going. It's over.
Yeah. Well, Leomane takes game one,
Hmm.
and mirror matchup. We can imagine that Weasel's going to find a win with his warrior deck as well. That seems to be a trend.
Yep.
We'll see. So don't know what kind of warrior. No, we do. Just kidding. We don't know what kind of warlock deck it is.
Yeah, it could be Handlock, could be Zoo. We did see
Could be
one.
Malagos.
Yeah, we did see one Malagos Warlock. We've seen some weird Warlock decks. Warlock's one of those archetypes you can really mold into a lot of different things. But
Hero power is very strong.
I'd say the most common we've seen today is Zoo. And past that, probably Handlock.
Yeah. Seen 2 Handlock, 2 Zoos, 1, 3 Zoos.
3 Zoos, 1
Two.
Malagos, 1 Handlock.
2 Handlocks, maybe?
So here we go. Hunter
I see a leper gnome. I
versus
see 2
Hunter.
leper gnomes.
I would say, yeah, it's the hybrid list. And yeah, don't think it's like full out face. Could be from Weasel still, but this is probably shaping up to be a hybrid hunter for both players. I myself, big fan of hybrid hunter. I've made kind of my own list for it, and I like it a lot more than just like mid range. Weasel actually looked like he just kept that whole hand, which I feel like it's okay, but I feel like it's almost too much stuff. Like, you coin out a 2, you play another 2, you play a 2 and a 1. Okay, I guess that curves out perfectly, but Haunted Creeper is good, but you really don't need 2, usually. It will put him ahead in this early game. It contests the Leper Gnome a lot better. And he's the one with the Mad Scientist. Leomane doesn't have one, so definitely going to be a bit of a... It's going to be an early push from Leomane, but later on...
It's going to get stopped pretty quickly.
Yeah, Weasel's going to retake the board, and Leomane's going to look for, like, Unleash the Hounds to help him back into it. Even went ahead and hit the face. We're off to a smorkin' start.
For the first time today. It's those days where you have no smork, where you really just miss it.
Yeah,
You know?
you don't know what you had till it's gone, TJ.
Yeah,
You really
like some
don't.
days I'm like, wow, the meta's so great right now. Everybody's just going to the figs. That was a week ago. And today
Now
I'm like,
no one
wow,
is.
I really wish people would just hit the face.
We have seen so much Patron, Warlock, and Druid today. It's unreal.
It is unreal. That leper gnome is a sight for sore eyes.
But even in the Hunter match, the rope is making a guest appearance.
No! It's what he gets for keeping 3/2 drops.
Well, I would expect Leomane to probably just go for that Unleash this turn. He can kill off the 2 1/1s. Pop
Maybe even get a trap.
Yeah, he can bop that Mad Scientist with his weapon.
He can twist the Unleash into the trap.
Oh, is he just going all face? All right. Okay, so he's gonna go face. Now go for it. He would have gotten punished by explosive. Maybe knows a little bit about Weasel's lists.
Yeah, both these players play in the EU qualifiers a lot. Maybe they play against each other a lot.
But gonna get a pick off. And so Weasel, while he's down a bit of health, I would say, like, at this point, the board control matters so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's Weasel who has enough. He can just start pushing. And it's Leomane probably can't keep up with it. Of course, now Weasel has the option to trade. He has a nice trade with that Leper Gnome. But you always have to be a little wary about trading into a Shredder. It essentially gives your opponent another minion with charge. So, it can be dangerous.
Yep. Requires some hefty thought.
Indeed. You think we'll see some hefty thought here?
I
Think
think
we'll hit the
he's.
rope?
I think he's already deep in hefty thought. Oh,
Rope or
oh,
no, TJ? Rope or no?
yes. Oh,
Ah.
I said it too
Oh,
late.
good call, TJ. Yeah.
Too late. The word started forming in my mouth as the rope came.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it, TJ.
Just leave,
Despicable.
just leave me alone.
Well, Leomane has some options here.
Smork him.
He can bow and hero power. He can bow and quick shot, try and control the board.
He's got to count his damage. Oh,
Yeah, so, okay. You bow, hero power, face, go face, put him to 14. You have 3 left on board with the bow. That takes him to 11. Quick shot to 8. Hero power to 6. Kill command hound is 6. So he has a 3-turn clock if he wants. Now he has to think about, can Weasel to return me? Probably, yeah. So, actually, Weasel would have to 2-turn him. But it's still pretty likely.
yep.
So I'm okay seeing this lineup play out of him.
Yep.
Take it slower.
I am as well.
Now he's on the back foot, though.
At a certain point, he established himself as the aggressor early on, especially when we saw the unleash. He really took the risky line of play to get a little bit of extra damage in.
And it left that 1-1 on the board. That's the reason that Spectral Spider's still there.
Yeah. And this is a scary board. He's looking at 11 damage just from board alone.
But there is no more. So
That
now,
is true. I think you just have to go for it. Take the risk.
well,
Does he have the 2-turn clock?
Maybe not. I mean, so this is going to be 7. Puts him to 14. Explosive down to 12. Bow down to 9. And he only has 8 from hand. But he has that Shredder.
It could pop out a Scavenging Hyena that isn't dealt with.
Oh, and Weasel's 1 off. Yeah, he is. He'll get the 10 from what's on board, and he only has 5 from hand.
Looks like he couldn't quite find a way to weasel himself into a lethal.
Wow. Nice. I like it. I appreciate that one.
That is a beast.
Well, he's going to clear it. And it's going to start the 2-turn clock. And unless Leomane top decks, I don't even know. Maybe... Yeah, I don't know. So throw out the kill command. Go face. And it's do or die for Leomane, but what can he even draw? The abusive is 1 off. What he has right now is 1 off. Arcane Golem would be... Arcane Golem would be enough. Or Huffer. Second kill command, no. So he has to go for a Doomsayer. I believe. Yeah. He has 1 more chance at it. Nope.
He gave it the old college try, though. And
Yeah.
but he is going to fall.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like with the way he went about it, he was pretty much all but guaranteed to be 1 off, unless, of course, Arcane Golem and Huffer off the top would do it. It was good on Weasel to clear out that Shredder. Kind of call out that it was Explosive Trap. Even if it was... Obviously, it was freezing, it would have just hit a 1-1 and he would have won. So, either way, it's fine. And pretty well played by Weasel. Pretty close game.
Yeah. So he's going to tie it up 1-1. Leomane looks like he is going to throw out... Well, Weasel's going back to the Patron Warrior.
Yeah.
Leomane is going to throw out the Hunter once again.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a rough matchup.
Yeah, it's kind of close. Weasel does have an unstable goal, so that's good for him.
Yeah. We still don't know if it's really that hybrid-y.
We saw Shredders.
That's it.
Saw an
The only
explosive
elements.
trap. Yeah, I mean, my list just runs Shredders and Lotheb and Worgen Infiltrators. That's kind of my aggro hybrid list right now.
I think I'd still classify that as aggro.
Nah, man, you play Shredder. Look, even as a high main, see, it's hybrid.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yep. It's going to be that Leper Gnome hybrid, where you've got the Leper Gnome and the Savannah high main. They never see it coming. Unless
Almost as
they've
strong
been
of a deck.
unless they've been paying attention to the meta for a month or so. But
Almost as strong of a deck as the Deathspite Execute Warrior that we saw earlier.
Deathspite Execute Warrior is it's a tough one to beat.
Yeah. It feels like they have so many Deathspites and so many Executes.
Yeah, like 4
Yeah.
total. And then you just win. And you're like, huh, I win.
Huh. Well played.
Well, he definitely has a lot to think about here, though. If you Abusive Sergeant, obviously you lose your entire board. You can then develop like a Creeper afterward, but you're not too happy about that. If you play Creeper and just Creeper, it's probably likely to get like axed off, and then it's dead to the thing anyway. So, guess he's just going to cut his losses while he can. Develop that Creeper. Really wants to pick like a Shredder up this turn. That way he can start the back-breaking curve of Shredder, Lotheb, Savannah High Main.
Incredibly backbreaking.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit more or less reluctant to give up his board like that and just play the Haunted Creeper when he has a strong mid-range curve like this. Bow
Yep.
is something to play. And holds it. Realize that he's in this for the long haul. Which is probably the right move here.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh no, but he gets greedy and he gets joned.
He gets Jones so hard.
Leomane just
Oh,
gives a
man.
slight smile. He's been joned before. He knows how it works.
Everybody's been Joned. At
He
some
knows the
point.
ropes.
I remember the last time I got Joned.
I got joned this morning by a mage.
Wow.
I had to take a shower afterwards.
Whew. Dirty.
Yeah.
Well, looks like he's going to forego the Lotheb and just clear off the Harrison Jones. Secret is explosive, so that's probably why. Wanting to protect that 5-5 that he's going to play. If it was freezing, it'd be a lot nicer.
Freezing to Harrison Jones, though.
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, he did draw another bow, but 7 mana Harrison is a lot harder to do, and when you're aware they have it, you always know to attack with that first charge. So, like, what you do is you play minions out, you pressure enough damage, and you make it so they can't afford to play out the 7 mana.
Alright, turn 6 high main. Big question
Yep.
here, though.
Do you kill
The
it
attack.
off?
Yeah.
Well,
He kills it off, he protects his explosive trap once again.
yeah.
But
Makes
he also
it- makes
gets rid
it
of his
seem-
bow charge.
Makes it seem more and more like freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you miss out on some damage, potentially a lot, actually. If you miss out on the bow charge and the 4 damage that you're putting into it, if you count all that, it's basically 7 damage.
Yeah.
Definitely a big difference maker when you're playing a Hunter deck without all those chargers. Even when you have the chargers, then you still want to save every point of damage.
Weasel has a handful of cards. You cannot ask for anything more for Emperor Thorsan. You're just worried about the pressure that's going to be put on you by a high main that's completely ignored for an entire turn.
Yep.
But I don't know. I'm really liking that Emperor. Look at the crucial stuff that Emperor's hitting.
A lot of stuff. I mean, even just the quantity of cards is so much. You're at a decent health total. He would get a little locked out by Lotheb. Like Lotheb would turn off all those spells. Leomane could hit the face a lot. So it's pretty risky not executing.
And that's what he does. He's not going to really be able to develop anything afterwards, but except for the fireworks, but he does put the board in a really great state going into the next turn.
Yeah, now it's a lot more manageable. I'm going to kill off that 2-2, set out the Lotheb, knowing it probably can't be answered now. Doesn't really get to push any damage, though. So.
Yeah, but he sets up the board in a state where he's going to be able to push lots of damage the next turn.
Yeah.
And have we seen 2 traps from Leomane yet?
No, we've only seen explosive. Which I'd be surprised if that was his only trap. I think, especially because he played the scientist, I think he has a freezing in there. Now, the way that they'd be lined up would be the optimal order. Explosive and then freezing. Of course, explosive never really something you want against Patron. So here comes down that Emperor. It's going to turn on the Grim Patron. All the combos. It's a snake trap.
Snake!
These are the 2 worst traps against Patron because now, when he attacks in, that's more patrons. As many as you like. And with an Armor Smith and a Whirlwind, that could lock him out.
I think it's going to lock him out.
We'll have to see how Weasel sequences it. Does say he falls victim to the rope a lot, so maybe if he gets going, he can get off just an insane turn. I mean, I don't think it's lethal, but it could be. With the, he's got the Frothing and the Patron and the Whirlwind. He's got 5 going face. Of course, he might think it's Freezing Trap, but knowing it's not, he's definitely got 5 going face. And he's definitely got another 5 from the Frothing and Grim Patron. And you get more Grim Patrons from the Explosive Trap. Oh yeah, that would be lethal for sure if he played it because of the Explosive Trap. But it's going to start with Whirlwind. It's not going to be lethal, but it is maybe going to lock Leomane out of this game, thanks to the Armor Smith. Does find out that it was Snake, so ideally he would have attacked first. I'm sure he probably thought it was freezing. Still, though, run into all those snakes. It's just going to execute that Lotheb, gain a ton of armor. And it's going to be hard from here for Leomane.
Yeah. Actually surprised he didn't kill the snake.
He did get roped out at the very end.
Oh, he does get it, okay.
See if he got off this 5 damage attack. He did. Alright, so now things are in a weird spot for Leomane. Juggler Unleash is nice. You're not at any risk of spawning patrons, so
it's basically like start the game over.
Yeah, I might even be inclined to just Arcane Golem. You really need to start clocking your opponent somehow. Yep, he's gonna go for that.
You're not really giving him much mana. You do have 3 bow charges.
So, yeah, I mean he's pushing 9 this turn, and he's leaving 14 on the table. Weasel's only at, 21, and he's out of stuff now again. So, from a situation where, of course, it wasn't a guaranteed lethal because he did not know of the traps, but from a really good situation, it's back into somewhat of a game. Of course, Battle Rages are going to help him a lot.
Shield Slam.
Shield Slam is going to help him a lot. He's going to be able to remove basically almost everything. Even picks up a shield block to gain even more armor. I mean, it didn't look over at the start of this turn, but now, I mean, it's it's looking pretty rough once again.
Yeah. I don't really know what Leomane's going to need to do to come back in the game.
Yeah, I feel like if Leomane had the right traps for this game, like if he was just playing freezing, maybe even double freezing, things would have went so much better for him. Of course, that's a decision you have to make in the deck building process. Do you want to be better against Patron or other things? And he decided other things, so
Yeah.
can't really fault him for that. Oh, he actually has a freezing. He's got the trifecta, TJ.
The trifecta, the rainbow hunter.
So he actually got really kind of unlucky on the mad scientist pulls. Of course, that's the risk you take when you play one of each trap. It's not a very guaranteed thing.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's just going to be a slow grind out from here for Weasel.
He's going to give him another bow charge. This Eagle Horn bow is getting in. This thing's going to do, over the course of its lifetime, 15 damage. That's pretty intense. But that'll pretty much lock Leomane out of the game.
Yeah. What an intense game.
3 mana, 15 damage.
Doesn't even want to see the last card.
Nope.
But what is its animal companion? Oh, okay.
Alright, well, Weasel. We're going to go into match point here for Weasel. 1 game away from going to the finals where he would meet the Rat.
The Rat.
Weasel versus the Rat.
Wow.
Weasels are natural predators to rats.
Are they?
Yes.
So you think Weasel would take it? By law, just pure laws of nature?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. Well, he's gonna have to get through Leomane still. I mean, he's got this looks like a zoo deck to win with, so kind of back to the roots of the day. We've seen zoo in half of our matches. Well, half of the players, so basically every match has had a zoo deck.
Yeah. And is it just me, or do some of Leomane's cards appear smaller than the others?
I think it's just you.
Okay.
It's like spells always look a little smaller because they don't have the little drop at the end. Like the little
for
the health drop, yeah.
For the health, but I don't know, the mana crystals on each card look smaller too.
TJ, are you okay?
Yes. We've been casting for a while, Chucky.
Are you tripping out, man?
You start to notice small intricacies between.
Man, it's okay. Just get through this. We can play some Bop It later.
Bop it. Pull it.
Everything's gonna be okay. So,
flick it.
Weasel is gonna have to play around some secrets, and it can be a tall order when you literally have no idea what secret it is.
Yep.
It's just like, well, let's take a gamble.
You're thinking, oh yeah, Weasel has the information advantage.
But
it
that's
doesn't
kind of
help him.
That's one of the pros of playing 3 traps, is you literally, there is no information to be had. You're just turning the game into chaos.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50.
And now he's got 2 mad scientists. For a trifecta hunter who's running all 3 traps, this is the dream. You feel like the world is at your fingertips right now.
Well, I think Weasel's going to hope it's a freezing trap. Not a snake. It's a snake! Look at Leomane just kind of grin. He's like, got him.
Yes. The trifecta at work.
My master plan.
And what's this one? It must be explosive.
It's got to be explosive, yeah.
Unless he runs two snake. The old double snake
That
explosive freezing.
always gets them.
He thought I only had 3, but I had the double snake.
What if he's just running 2 of all of them?
Oh no!
You get him every time. It is explosive, so.
Okay.
All traps are on the table for Leomane. And he's just gonna Arcane Golem. What? Mana ramp be damned.
Yes.
I don't care. Well, it's not like Weasel really wants to Doomguard. He's just like looking at his board and smiling. He's like, what am I doing? I don't know, I'm just smorking him.
Smorking him, just put a bunch of random traps.
Yep. His like buddy walks by, he's like, just got him with the triple trap snake. Classic. Alright, well, a knife juggler is a really good draw. He does have explosive, and I mean, the unleash as well.
Uh-oh. Alright, he's ruled it out.
Okay, so he's just playing safe, kind of? Oh, man.
One turn away.
Next turn.
Can he afford to wait?
Probably. You can just hero power. You could hero power and then put freezing down to freeze the Nerubian. But then your everything gets explosive all over. Well, it's at least going to leave out 2 1/1s. I think you're okay if he attacks in. He decides not to play the freezing. So it's going to leave out a 4/1. That works fine too. How is Weasel going to play around this? I don't think he can.
He can just hold.
Yeah, but does that play around it, or is that just like delaying the inevitable?
Yeah, with Zoo, since a lot of your creatures get eaten up by it anyway, I don't think he can really afford to wait.
I think a Kazan Mystic was what he needed. And if he taps and jugglers, it's going to end out really bad for him. If he Doomguards, though, it's not that much better. I think maybe like Void Color is one of his best draws.
Leomane's like, look what I'm about to do. Ruin your day.
And here it is.
Into the high main, too, so just...
Yeah, and I mean, he's at plenty of health. He's not going to get outraced at this point. Even if Mal'Ganis did come down on the board, it's really not a huge deal. So, not amazing juggles. Okay, you got decent juggles there at the end.
Yeah,
he's really far ahead on board, on life, initiative. There's Void Caller. And that is what he needed, but seems a little too late. Maybe he just POs it, I guess. Hope to get that Mal'Ganis out there. Of course, it would just die.
Yeah.
Nope, just gonna pass, so... Now, Freezing Trap's gonna come down, I think.
I think that's
or is it game? Yeah, now that's game.
Yep, it
so
is.
That is
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
14 with a joke. Oh.
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 Bummer. All right, well, Leomane ties up the series 2-2. Looks like we are going to go to a game number 5, which I believe will be Rogue versus Zoo.
Indeed it will. Definitely not a terrible matchup from either side. Pretty close. Sap can be important against the new Void Color versions of Zoo. But it's definitely changed a lot from, oh yeah, Blade Flurry blows them out. Yeah. Still, that can happen sometimes. The Rogue really wants to secure down those early turns with Backstab, SI Agent, as they always do. Just kind of control the board. Whereas Zoo wants to also control the board. That way their buffing cards do things.
All right. Weasel's got a pretty decent hand here.
Mm-hmm.
Leomane's thinking about what he wants to keep. It can be a little tough with mulligans against Zoo because there's really great cards and then there's okay cards. You have to decide between keeping okay cards or mulligan away your okay cards to find great cards.
Yeah, I think he's just going to pitch everything. You really need to find those cards to lock up the early game.
Yeah. Like if you have your okay cards and you pitch them looking for your great cards, like if you have Piloted Shredder, even Blood Mage Thalnos to an extent, and you pitch them looking for Backstab and SI and Prep, and you
Yeah.
don't hit them, then you wish you had kept your okay cards.
Yeah, I mean, you can think that, but still, you do have to maximize your chances of getting those great cards.
Yeah.
That's kind of the main thing in a game like this. You really just need to maximize the odds every possible opportunity. We do already see the Void Color Mal'Ganis threat out from Weasel's hand. For him, he just doesn't want to draw into any more demons now. Just make sure he can set up. Implosion would be nice, though.
The egg is never something you want to see as a rogue because it just ruins all of your nice, clean clears. Imagine if he played like Knife Juggler. Then he could just backstab, smack the Void Walker, and then SI 7 agent the Knife Juggler. But now he's got to think, well, crap. Do I just Blood Mage Thalnos backstab so he can't use the Beast Sergeant or Power Woman to trade into something on my board?
Yeah, he could do that. And then next turn he'd have South Sea Deckhand as an activator for SI if he wanted to.
Yeah.
So he would still have options to enable that combo. Option, I suppose, but this gets a little bit of power on the board as well.
All right. It's going in. Now, Weasel, though, I mean, this is like one of the dream hands. Whoa!
Well, I'm not so sure you're happy to see Doomguard. If your Void Caller gets out the Mal'Ganis, you're incredibly happy. But, of course, this all kind of crumbles if Leomane gets the sap. Really what he's looking for.
Yeah.
But
he really needs a prep to sort of activate this hand.
Yeah. I could see him just going with the Violet Teacher. It's a little susceptible to maybe like Power Overwhelming, but he can just play Teacher. Or Oiling doesn't do too much. He could clear off that Imp Gang boss, but it's not the biggest deal ever. Yeah, just gonna go Teacher, go Face probably.
Can't play around the Power Overwhelming forever.
Yeah, definitely.
Just doesn't work like that. And I mean, this is not too bad of a turn here for Weasel. He has the option to Power Overwhelming the egg, coin out Void Caller, just plop into the
you want him to plop it?
Just plop it. Maybe even flick it. Plop it with the Power Overwhelming egg, then flick it with the Imp Gang boss.
Yeah, I feel that.
Flick out the coin.
Sure.
Bop the Void Caller.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Sounds really great to me.
Same.
That's exactly what he's going to do.
Well,
Arceer doesn't help one bit.
Yeah, definitely going to be really tough for Leomane to recover from this position.
He can souse the oil.
Yeah, and then he could clear off the 4/4. He could trade into something with the Blood Mage first to ensure the oil hits the South Sea. Of course, the South Sea would then just get cleared by Imp Gang boss that gets left over, or the Void Caller, or anything really. It's That's what he's going to go for, though. Won't trade first, so we'll see where the oil hits. I suppose that means he would have liked it to hit the Blood Mage, because if you want it to hit the South Sea, you would trade first with the Blood Mage. And be definitely a little bit of an issue if he went into that Void Collar. Could be big issues starting next turn.
Yeah, especially if Mal'Ganis comes out and then all of a sudden
he would take 16.
Doomguard. Alright, he leaves it alone for the time being. Actually holds on to the dagger charge as well.
Could get joned.
Could get joned. Yeah.
Usually you don't get too joned. Oh, wow. Whoa. We could see, though. He could just eat the Void Collar.
I think you got to eat something because
it's a 50-50.
Well, I mean,
either way, you're happy.
Yeah. Either you push for 5 or you swallow Mal'Ganis. Actually, I think Doom would be better because then it's not as vulnerable to sap. You
just eat them. Eat them up.
I think you got a Void Terror, though, to make sure that the Void Terror doesn't come out from the Void Collar, because that'd be sort of a disaster. Not necessarily a disaster, but definitely would lay all of your good stuff.
Definitely close to a disaster.
Yeah. So, what's close to a disaster, but not quite a disaster? What's a word for that? A dilemma.
Yeah.
It'd be a dilemma.
It'd be an issue.
Yeah.
So we got the Doomguard.
Alright. Well, I really like that, because now next turn, he's threatening lethal? No, because he can't bring out the Mal'Ganis for like 8 turns.
8 turns. 8!
Sorry, a slight exaggeration.
Slight. I don't know.
It's still very threatening. And he can't even sprint. I mean, what do you do here?
You'd probably have to, like...
You have to tank the damage.
You have to Teacher Abyss.
Abyss the what? The Void Collar and then smack it? The Void Terror, sorry?
I think you could hit the 5/7 instead. Because if he wants to trade into your teacher, then it really doesn't matter which one you leave up. So you should take the 5 instead of the 6th.
Yeah.
So you take 5 to face, and the 6 overkills the teacher anyway, if he trades. And if he doesn't trade, you hope to draw, like, Blade Flurry next turn, obviously. You can sprint into, like, prep Blade Flurry. Even if he trades, that's still obviously what you're going to need. But, I mean, it's a lot better of a situation than it could have been. If, like, Mal'Ganis came out, he would probably have just lost. Whereas this way, he's on a flurry draw to be in a decent spot.
Yeah, he's still got to worry about, I mean, his health total is pretty low, but again, if he picks up a prep next turn, it'd be huge, because he does have healing. I'm sure he has a heal bot somewhere in this deck as well, combined with that Earthring Farseer. He can definitely stabilize, but he needs it now. So, Bane of Doom, we see it, and Weasel, in his bio, said that his favorite card is Bane of Doom, because he's known to have crazy RNG with it, and he considers it to be a 5-mana Mal'Ganis.
Jeez. What a nice life.
Very bold.
So, you can clear off that Void Terror, heal yourself, SI Agent, and clear off one of the Imp Gang bosses. You go down to 9 health after that. You lose out on your dagger, which kind of sucks. But you're sort of starting to take back the board. I guess if there's a 5-mana Mal'Ganis that comes out for Weasel, that'd be pretty bad for him. But
I can't really. No, he can. He'll have the second in-game boss left on the board.
Yep. He will indeed. Good. So here we go. We'll probably see it this turn.
He's getting close to just killing him.
Yeah. He can push 5, and then he has 2 more with the Bane of Doom, so only 7. That's assuming Leomane is able to clear everything.
He can Direwolf and ensure like a cleaner kill on one of these.
I think it'd be okay for him to just life tap play out Creeper, Abusive Sergeant, Direwolf, and push face for 5. And then if 2 damage sticks, you just win with Bane of Doom.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to go. He loves this card. He loves the RNG. That's what he's going with.
Let's see if it holds true.
Pretty much.
Wow.
I mean, close enough, man.
Wow.
He's one off lethal now.
Well, he can't play everything.
Oh, yeah, so he's 2 off.
2 off. But still, I mean...
Yeah, now if anything survives, which is almost... It's guaranteed to. I mean, this is game. Leomane can't win.
Yeah. All right, he goes ahead and concedes. Weasel does it. And you know what? That lines up our finals. Weasel versus the Rat, the Animal Kingdom, represented in full force, going into NA number 8.
Full force, 2.
And did a meme just go over my head?
There's only 2 animals represented.
Oh, okay.
It's not the entire Animal Kingdom. Come on.
Okay, I see.
So it's okay. You're on your way, TJ. I like the thought.
On my way. All right. Well, the 3rd place match is going to be coming up next. It is going to be Leomane taking on Tang. And following that will be the finals. So 2 more matches left to go today. We're going to go to a quick 2-minute break. But don't go anywhere, guys. The conclusion to the One Nation of Gamers Summer Circuit will continue right after this.